mishaps. During a session addressing the collective protest of medical interns and residents on Tuesday, officials proposed the creation of a specific law for medical incidents that would shield healthcare workers from criminal liability in such situations. At the outset of the meeting, the Minister of Health and Welfare, Jo Kyu-hong, highlighted that the current approach to resolving medical disputes through litigation places undue stress on both patients and healthcare providers. He pointed out that this process leads to prolonged legal battles for patients and prompts healthcare providers to eschew necessary treatments due to fear of legal repercussions. A public consultation on these issues is scheduled for Wednesday. A North Korean delegation has embarked on a journey to Russia to participate in the upcoming World Youth Festival. The group, led by Moon Chul, the chairman of the North Korean Socialist Patriotic Youth League's Central Committee, left Pyongyang for the event, as reported by KCNA. The Russian ambassador to Pyongyang, Alexander Matsugora, was present to see off the delegation at the Pyongyang International Airport. During the festival, which is scheduled to take place in Sirius from March 1st to the 7th, there will be discussions aimed at fostering exchanges between youth organizations from both countries. In local news, after the city of Busan implemented the free public transport fares for children policy, being the first among metropolitan cities in the country to do so, there has been a significant increase in the usage of public transport by children. The city reported a 58% increase in children's public transport usage in January this year compared to last year, attributed to the effects of the free fares for children policy that was put into effect on October the 6th last year. By mode of transport, urban rail usage increased by 77%, while city and village buses saw a 54% increase each. A transport card operator, MIB, donated 20,000 transportation cards to the Busan branch of the Green Umbrella Children's Foundation to encourage the habitual use of public transport among children. The Busan Global City Foundation will host a special 15th anniversary broadcast for Busan English Broadcasting BeFM, connecting with you 15 years and beyond today, expressing gratitude to its audience. Live programs throughout the day, including Morning Wave in Busan discussing the evolution of radio in today's digital age, Busan Worldwide with messages from dignitaries like Mayor Park Kyung-jun, and exploring BFM's role in Busan's global prominence, and Steve Hatherley Reboot, offering quizzes and interactive segments. The new 4-year Busan initiative will collect local stories and run a photo contest, while All-Star English will educate students about BEFM with the help of Busan's mascot Boogie. Multilingual shows Busan Hwa Jium and Hello Vietnam will cater to Chinese and Vietnamese communities. In international news, Sweden has overcome the last hurdle in its path to NATO membership following the Hungarian parliament's decision to approve its application. Following Russia's extensive invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the Scandinavian countries sought to become a part of the defense bloc. Approval from every existing member is required for a new country to join, and Hungary had postponed its approval, citing accusations of Sweden's antagonism towards it. However, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban recently stated that the two nations are now ready to lay down their lives for each other. And now, taking a quick look at the weather here, it's currently 5 degrees Celsius under cloudy skies throughout the day. After peaking at around 10 degrees Celsius today, the mercury will gradually cool to freezing temperatures. Some inland regions might dip below freezing temperatures tomorrow morning. And that'll have to do it for this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BeFM 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BeFM 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Busan Worldwide with Haeyeon Park. BeFM 부산영어방송.
we could say that a key element for Busan as a global hub city is being an English-friendly city, right? 부산 영어방송은 누구나 영어를 자유롭게 배우고 사용할 수 있는 도시를 위해 지난 15년 동안 달려왔고 바로 오늘 생일을 맞았습니다. Lots of messages of congratulations have been rolling in since this morning from our listeners. 청취자 여러분, 부산 영어방송과 함께해 주셔서 정말 감사합니다. This is Busan Worldwide and I'm your host, Haeyeon Park. Welcome everyone to Busan Worldwide. You're tuned into BeFM Busan 영어방송. It's Tuesday, February 27th, and you're joining us on BeFM's anniversary day. Happy anniversary, everyone, to our listeners and everyone at BeFM. 오늘은 부산 영어방송 15주년 특집방송으로 함께합니다. 네, 매일 이 시간 여러분과 이렇게 만나고 있지만 오늘의 만남은 더욱 특별하게 느껴지는데요. It feels quite special today as it's been 15 years since BeFM has been on air. Over the past 15 years, BeFM has definitely grown with all of you, including foreign residents in Busan, as well as our Korean listeners who are interested in English and those who are passionate about the local issues of Busan. We're so grateful for your listenership, and all of us will continue to strive to become a more interesting and higher quality program that reaches out and connects with our listeners. Also, as we ask for your continued love and support, we also promise to contribute to Busan's leap into a global hub city. 여러분 지금까지 보내주신 사랑과 관심 앞으로도 부탁드리겠습니다. 그리고 오늘 부산 영어방송 15주년 특집 방송을 맞아 청취자 이벤트가 준비되어 있는데요. 여러분의 사연을 받고 있어요. 축하 사연도 괜찮고 부산 영어방송에 바라는 점이 있다면 허심탄회하게 말씀해 주셔도 좋습니다. You can send us your congratulations or any suggestions or feedback you have for Busan Worldwide or BeFM. 샵 9050으로 100원의 문자 혹은 카카오톡으로 부산 영어방송 친구 추가하셔서 저에게 메시지 보내주셔도 되고요. 15분을 선정해서 커피 쿠폰을 보내드립니다. Everyone, you have a chance to receive a coffee coupon. All you have to do is send in your messages through Kakao Talk or text us at pound 9050, which will cost you 101. We'll pick 15 of you to celebrate our 15th anniversary. I'm excited to hear from all of you. Well, the time is now 11:08, and let me tell you what's coming up today. In the interview, we'll discuss the future direction of BeFM, and later on, Kelly will be joining us to take us through the history of BeFM. And throughout the show, we'll be hearing some congratulatory messages from some special guests, and I'll be reading your messages as well, so keep them coming. I mean, let's face it, the best thing about our birthday is reading the birthday cards and the messages, right? Well, let's get started. First, we're going to explore the future direction that BeFM should take with Professor Nam In-yong from the Busan Society for Journalism and Communication Studies in today's The Interview. 오늘의 더 인터뷰 지금 바로 만나보겠습니다. Now, to celebrate BeFM's 15th anniversary today, we'd like to take this time to explore the future of Busan English Broadcasting and the direction it should take. So joining us for this discussion is the chairman of the Society for Journalism and Communication Studies, who is also a professor at the Department of Media Communication at Busan National University. 개국 특집 더 인터뷰. 부산 영어방송의 미래 그리고 나아가야 할 방향을 모색해보는 시간을 갖기 위해서 부울경 언론학회장이자 부경대 미디어 커뮤니케이션 학부의 남인용 교수 나오셨습니다. 어서 오십시오.
예,
회장님.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
네, 이렇게 와주셔서 감사합니다.
예.
So today marks the 15th anniversary of BeFM, and throughout the last 15 years, BeFM has worked to fulfill our role as a public foreign language broadcasting station. I'm curious of how media experts in the 부울경 언론학회 how they view Busan English Broadcasting's efforts. 네, 오늘로써 부산 영어 방송이 15번째 생일을 맞았는데요. 부산 영어 방송은 그동안 지역의 공영 외국어 방송으로서 소임을 다하고자 노력해 왔습니다. 그런데 부울경 언론학자들은 부산 영어 방송을 어떻게 평가하고 있는지 궁금한데 어떻습니까?
부산은 역사적으로 다양한 문화권과 교류하는 국제적인 마인드가 충만한 도시였어요. 부울경 언론학 학자들은 이러한 부산의 도시 특성에 부합하는 부산 영어 방송이 개국을 해서 부산의 문화적 토양을 더욱 풍부하게 구성하고 있다는 점을 높이 평가하고 있습니다. 15년이라는 짧은 기간에 부산 영어 방송처럼 시민 누구나가 알고 있는 애청하는 방송이 되기는 쉽지 않았을 것이라고 보이는데요.
네.
방송을 제작하는 분들과 청취자 및 지역사회의 구성원들이 합심해서 이끌어낸 성과라고 볼 수 있습니다. 국제도시여서 세계적인 위상을 높이고 있는 부산의 역동성이 반영된 부산 영어방송이 앞으로도 지역사회에서 중추적인 문화적 교류 기구의 역할을 할 것으로 기대하고 있습니다.
예, 알겠습니다. He says that Busan has historically been a city rich in international exchange and diverse cultural influences. As scholars and experts from the Busan Ulsan Gyeongnam Society for Journalism and Communication Studies highly appreciates Busan English Broadcasting for its representation of the city's characteristics that contribute to enriching the overall cultural landscape of Busan. It would not have been easy, he says, for BFM to become well-known and beloved by citizens in such a short period of 15 years. So this achievement is the result of concerted efforts from the people that create and produce the shows, also the listeners and members of our local community. As Busan continues to elevate as into a global city, BFM reflecting the dynamic parts of the city, they're expecting it to play a central role as a cultural exchange platform in the future. So BFM stands out in being a foreign language broadcaster, and in this era of multiculturalism, it plays an essential role in line with Busan's active promotion of the English-friendly city policy. What do you think is the role that BFM should play in this regard? 네, 부산 영어 방송은 외국어 방송이라는 특수성을 가지고 있지 않습니까? 다문화 시대에 꼭 필요한 방송인 동시에 부산이 적극 추진하고 있는 영어하기 편한 도시 정책의 그 역할이 커지고 있는데요. 이와 관련해서 어떤 역할들을 해야 한다고 보십니까?
글쎄요, 영어하기 편한 도시를 영어로 말하기 편한 도시로 가면 여기서는 곤란할 것 같아요. 어떤 언어로든 말하기 편한 도시, 자유로운 소통이 권장되는 여유로운 분위기를 갖는 도시가 되어야 할 것으로 봅니다.
예.
말하기 편한 도시의 큰 틀에서 한국어, 영어, 일본어, 중국어 등 어떤 언어로든 말하기 편한 도시가 될 수 있습니다. 물론 영어가 모국어가 아니고 공용어가 아닌 만큼 언제 어디서나 영어하기 편한 도시가 되는 길은 쉽지 않을 것으로 보는데요. 부산 영어방송은 우리 사회의 각계각층 인사들이 두루 향유할 수 있는 콘텐츠를 방송하여 누구나가 부산 영어 방송에 참여하고 청취하도록 이끌었으면 합니다.
네, 알겠습니다. Our guest says that an English-friendly city is more than just a city where English is spoken comfortably. Busan should aim to become a city where communication in any language comes with ease, fostering an atmosphere of an open, flowing exchange. Within the broader framework of a language-friendly city, it can accommodate communication in languages other than just Korean and English, also Japanese, Chinese, and others. Now, of course, as English is not our native language nor our official language, it can becoming a city where English is spoken comfortably anytime, anywhere. It's not going to be an easy process. So BFM should lead the way by broadcasting content that appeals to people from all walks of life in our society, making it accessible and engaging for everyone to take part and also listen to. Now, taking a look at other global hub cities like Hong Kong and Singapore, it might be helpful to explore the direction that Busan English Broadcasting should take. I'm curious, are there any foreign language broadcasts from those cities that we can refer to? 네, 홍콩이나 싱가포르 같은 글로벌 허브 도시의 사례를 살펴보면 부산 영어 방송이 나아가야 할 방향을 모색하는 데 도움이 될 것 같거든요. 우리가 참고할 만한 도시의 외국어 방송 사례가 있을까요?
홍콩이나 싱가포르는 영어를 공용어로 하는 도시가 아니어서요. 우리나라처럼 영어를 공용어로 하지 않는 그러니까 홍콩이나 싱가포르는 영어를 공용을 하는 도시죠.
네.
그래서 우리나라처럼 영어를 공용어로 하지 않는 그 문화 전통이 강한 오랜 나라가 아닙니다. 그런 점에서 부산 영어 방송은 홍콩이나 싱가포르 영어 방송과는 다를 수밖에 없고 달라야 할 것으로 보는데요. 흉내내기만으로는 최상의 방송을 만들 수 없다고 생각을 하고요. 영어가 공용어가 아닌 나라에서 영어로 표현하다 보면 영어 사용자에게 익숙하고 영어로 표현하기 좋은 소재만 다루게 되는 경향이 있습니다. 시민들이 듣고 싶어하는 내용을 영어로 방송을 해서 부산 영어 방송이 다른 방송을 듣다가 우연히 듣게 되는 부가적인 방송이 아니라
네.
좋아하는 프로그램을 찾아서 듣는 필수적인 방송이 되도록 했으면 합니다. 라디오 방송이라고 하면 시민들의 마음에 가장 먼저 떠오르는 방송, 부산 영어 방송이 그런 방송이 되었으면 합니다.
예, 그렇군요. 부산 영어 방송만의 독보적인 소재와 콘텐츠가 있어야 된다고 말씀하셨습니다.
예, 맞습니다.
Hong Kong and Singapore are cities where English is used as an official language, which is not the case of our country, right? So in this regard, our guest thinks that BFM inevitably should and must be different from English broadcasting in those cities. Just imitating them will not lead to the creation of the best content. In countries where English is not the official language, there's a tendency to only cover topics that are familiar to English speakers. So our guest hopes that BFM will become an essential broadcast where listeners seek out their favorite programs rather than just stumbling upon our station while listening to other shows. When people think of radio programs, he wants them to think of Busan English Broadcasting as the first choice that comes to their mind. Listeners, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to an interview with the chairman of the Buulgyeong Society for Journalism and Communication Studies, Mr. Nam In-young. Okay, let's move on to my next question. BFM is, of course, a local public broadcaster, so we have an obligation to engage in public activities that would benefit our citizens. Now, when it comes to this, what do you think are tasks that we should undertake? 부산 영어방송은 지역 공영방송으로서 공공의 이익을 위한 공적 활동 역시 성실히 수행해야 할 과제인데요. 이와 관련해서는 부산 영어방송이 어떤 일들을 해야 한다고 보십니까?
부산 영어 방송이라는 명칭에서 부산에서 하는 영어 방송이라는 의미를 알 수가 있습니다. 이 명칭에 매달리다 보면 적극적으로 방송 내용을 구성하기 어려울 수도 있으리라 여겨지고요.
예.
말하자면 형식이 내용을 규정하는 일이 염려되는데요. 방송의 기능을 정보적 기능과 오락적 기능이라고 볼 때 부산과 영어에 집중하는 과정에서 부산에 적합하고 영어로 방송 가능한 내용을 선택하게 되는 점이 그런 쪽으로 좀 치우치지 않을까 염려하는 마음이 있죠. 어떤 프로그램에서 지역사회의 문제점은 나오지 않고 시청자들이 부담 없이 선호하는 따뜻한 고향의 이미지를 주로 묘사하는 경우가 있는 것과 마찬가지 사례가 될 것입니다.
네.
영어 방송이 다른 방송을 모방할 필요는 없지만 지역사회 현안을 심층적으로 탐구하고 해결책을 국가적이고 세계적인 차원에서 탐구하는 역할을 지역 공영 방송으로서 부산 영어 방송이 해야 할 역할이라고 생각을 합니다.
예, 그렇군요. The name Busan English Broadcasting implies, of course, broadcasting in English based in Busan. However, adhering too strictly to this name may pose challenges in actively shaping diverse broadcast content. Broadcasting serves both informative and entertainment functions. So in the process of focusing on just the Busan part and the English part, our guest says that there's a worry the content might become potentially neglecting local issues. It's similar to cases of certain other programs where the community issues are often overlooked and instead just the perfunctory warm sentiments of hometowns are portrayed in order to avoid any discomfort by the viewers. While English broadcasting doesn't need to emulate other broadcasts, he believes that as a local public broadcaster, BFM should delve deeply into local community issues and explore solutions on a national and global scale rather than merely following the general trend. So during the COVID pandemic, we've witnessed... So during the... we're going to move on to the next question. Let's talk about the roles of local media in achieving balanced development in South Korea. 네, 수도권 일극 체제를 극복하고 대한민국의 균형 발전을 이루기 위한 지역 언론의 역할은 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
먼데 무당이 용하다는 속담이 있잖아요. 자신이 잘 알고 있거나 가까이 있는 사람보다 먼데 있는 모르는 사람의 말을 더 신뢰하는 현상을 의미하는 속담인데요. 우리가 혹시 이런 오류에 빠져 있지 않은지 살펴봐야 할 것 같습니다. 지역 언론뿐만 아니라 지방 정부도 국가적인 현안이나 중요한 의사결정에서 서울 지역 지식인의 의견을 중시하는 경향이 있습니다. 장점이 있는 것도 사실이지만 우리의 문제를 외부에 의존하는 소극적인 자세로는 지역 현안을 적극적으로 해결할 수 없다고 보고요. 방송의 내용은 방송을 제작하는 방송인과 방송에 출연하는 정보원의 시각과 지식 수준에 좌우되게 되어 있는데 수도권 1국 체제에서 수도권 생활을 마다하고 지역 사회를 위해 헌신하는 지역 지식인들을 방송에 적극 활용해서 지역의 자긍심을 고양하고 실천 가능한 해결책을 찾는 기회가 되었으면 합니다.
네, 알겠습니다. So he says that there's a proverb that goes, the shaman in a faraway land is more reliable than one's own neighbor, which implies that people tend to trust the words of someone they don't know well or who is far away more than those of someone that they know closely. It's important for us to examine whether we might be falling into this trap. Not only local media, but also local governments tend to prioritize the opinions of intellectuals from Seoul in national issues or important decision-making processes. While there are advantages to this, relying on external sources with a passive attitude will not actively resolve our actual local issues. The content of broadcasts is influenced by the perspectives and knowledge of the broadcasters and the information sources that they feature. So by actively utilizing local intellectuals who understand and dedicate themselves to the local community in broadcasting, despite the centralization of power in the capital region, it can foster true local pride and provide opportunities to find practical solutions for the community. 네, 회장님 마지막으로 부산 영어방송 청취자들에게 전하고 싶은 말씀이 있다면요.
제가 몸담고 있는 교육계에는요. 청중의 수준 이상의 강의를 하지 못한다는 속설이 있습니다. 방송도 마찬가지라고 보는데 청취자들의 적극적인 참여가 좋은 방송을 만드는 미끄럼이 될 것입니다. 청취자들께서는 적극적으로 방송되기 원하는 내용을 제안하시고 부산영어방송은 청취자 여러분께서 원하시는 방송을 제작한다면 가장 이상적인 방송이 될 것이라고 봅니다. 소중한 청취자 여러분의 의견이 좋은 방송으로 구체화될 수 있도록 부산영어방송에서도 언제나 청취자 여러분의 소중한 의견을 존중하는 자세를 가지셨으면 합니다.
예, 좋은 말씀 감사합니다. He says that in education, there's a stereotype that teachers can't really deliver lectures beyond the level of their students. The same applies to broadcasting. Active participation from listeners forms the foundation of a good broadcast. Listeners should actively propose the type of contents they want to hear. And if BFM produces programs that listeners want, it would be the most ideal broadcast. He hopes that BFM will always maintain an attitude of respecting the valuable opinions of listeners in order to provide good quality content. Well, that's going to do it for today's The Interview with the chairman of the Society for Communications Studies, Professor 남인용. 오늘 더 인터뷰에서는 부울경 언론학회장 남인용 교수와 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 회장님, BFM 15주년 개국일에 이렇게 함께해 주셔서 감사드립니다. Yong of the Busan Society for Journalism and Communication Studies. He's also professor at the Department of Media Communication at Busan National University, and he had some great suggestions, insightful directions he gave for the future of our station, BeFM. Taking his words to heart, we pledge to work even harder to bring our programs closer to our listeners and to delve deeper into our local issues as we keep growing together with our community. All right, I see a lot of our listeners' messages coming through. Let me read one. 5382님, 와우, 축하드려요. 15주년 항상 잘 듣고 있습니다. Yes, thank you so much. So, yeah, keep the messages coming in because we are giving out coffee coupons later. And next, I hear we have some special congratulatory messages from the Busan City Mayor Park Hyung-jun, the chairman of Busan City Council, Mr. An Sung-min, and the education governor, Mr. Ha Yun-soo. So let's take a listen now.
Good morning. I'm Park Hyung-jun, Mayor of Busan Metropolitan City. On behalf of the citizens of Busan, I would like to offer my congratulations on the 15th anniversary of BeFM. English is becoming increasingly important in Busan. More than 56,000 international residents are currently living in Busan, and the number of international tourists have been constantly growing. For the past 15 years, BeFM has delivered meaningful content and timely information about Busan. In a global city like Busan, English is not just a language. It is a means of promoting communication and a medium of harmony. I look forward to the continued support of BeFM in making Busan both an English-friendly city and a global hub city. As we look ahead, I believe that BeFM will have an even greater role to play. I would like to congratulate BeFM's 15th birthday once again and hope BeFM will receive even greater love from Busan citizens and listeners. Thank you very much.
반갑습니다. 부산광역시의회 의장 안승민입니다. 부산영어방송 개국 15주년을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 부산영어방송은 이제 누가 뭐래도 부산 대표 방송으로 굳게 자리 잡았습니다. 언제 어디서나 함께하는 시민의 외국어 친구가 된 것은 물론이고 부산에 대한 알찬 길잡이로 외국인으로부터 큰 호응을 얻고 있습니다. 지금 부산은 글로벌 허브 도시의 꿈을 이루기 위해 노력하고 있습니다. 부산이 더 큰 세계, 더 많은 세계인과 만날 수 있도록 부산 영어 방송이 글로벌 소통 창구로 함께해 주시기 바랍니다. 부산 영어 방송의 빛나는 미래를 응원하겠습니다. BeFM Go for it!
부산 영어방송 청취자 여러분 반갑습니다. 부산광역시 교육감 하윤수입니다. 부산 지역의 대표 공익방송인 부산영어방송의 개국 15주년을 진심으로 축하합니다. 부산영어방송은 우리 부산을 세계에 널리 알리고 부산 시민과 세계 시민 간의 소통을 활성화하는 데 크게 기여하고 있습니다. 부산 시민들의 영어 의사소통 능력을 강화하고 우리 부산이 글로벌 허브 도시로 다시 도약하기 위해서는 부산 영어방송의 역할이 대단히 중요합니다. 부산 영어방송의 노력과 열정을 응원하며 우리 교육청에서도 영어 공교육 강화로 영어하기 편한 부산으로 자리매김하는 데 최선을 다하겠습니다. 앞으로도 청취자 여러분의 많은 관심과 성원을 부탁드립니다. 다시 한번 부산 영어방송의 개국 15주년을 진심으로 축하드리며 부산 영어방송의 무궁한 발전을 기원합니다. 고맙습니다.
Welcome back. You just listened to some wonderful, lovely messages wishing BeFM a happy 15th anniversary. First one was from the mayor of Busan Metropolitan City, Mayor Park Hyung-jun. He was talking about our aspirations to become a global hub city and the important role that BeFM has been and will continue to play in that. The second message was from the chairman of Busan City Council, Mr. An Sung-min. He also gave us his sincere congratulations and called BeFM the representative broadcast of Busan and how our station is kind of like a friend for all of our citizens who are venturing into learning foreign languages and hopes it'll become a global communication platform. And the last message was from our Busan City Education Governor, Mr. Ha Yun-soo. He wants BeFM to become a global platform in order to attribute to becoming a global hub city. And he is grateful that we are letting the global community know more, learn more about Busan. And also, he pledged that the Education Office will be working hard to make English education more accessible for all of our citizens. Well, thank you, everyone, for the heartfelt messages. And now back to you, our listeners. 심창보님께서 메시지를 보내오셨네요. 개국 15주년 축하드려요. 개국 150주년도 미리 축하드립니다. 심창보님, I love the ambition. And although I'm probably not going to be here in 150 years, but I really do hope that the legacy and our station will continue into another 150 years. Thank you so much. All right, now, then also, I want to remind you guys that to celebrate BFM's 15th birthday, we're giving out gifts today. If you send us a congratulatory message or any suggestions or feedback that you have for us, we'll select 15 of you and send you coffee coupons. 여러분, 15주년 특집 방송을 맞아서 청취자 이벤트가 계속되고 있습니다. 개국 15주년 축하 메시지나 BFM에 바라는 점을 저희에게 보내주시면 15분을 선정해서 커피 쿠폰을 드립니다. 샵 9050으로 100원의 문자 혹은 카카오톡으로 부산 영어방송을 친구 추가하셔서 메시지 보내셔도 되고요. So please send in your messages through Kakao Talk or text us in at pound 9050, which will cost you 101. Now, in the next segment, we're going to get to reminisce a little bit about the last 15 years of BEFM. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, you are joining us on BFM's 15th anniversary special broadcast today. And in this next segment, we're going to go down memory lane, tracing the footsteps of BFM over the last 15 years. So our guest for this segment is Kelly. Hi,
everyone. 안녕하세요.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, 혜연.
Happy BFM birthday to you.
Oh, happy birthday, BFM, and happy 15th anniversary.
Yes. So this is my first time meeting you in person.
I know, right?
But I've heard your voice many, many times on different
thank you.
programs. So it's nice to put a face to the voice.
Right.
Yes.
I know, right? So thank you for having me, 혜연. Well, you know what? It feels like I'm the right person for this segment, especially because I have been with BEFM since 2010.
Wow.
That's crazy, right? Because I have been here for more than 13 years now.
That's incredible. So you've literally been a part of history
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I love that. Well, let's dive into it.
All right, let's do it. So BEFM was originally supposed to be an English-only radio station until a few Chinese and Vietnamese shows were added. FYI, the Chinese program made its debut in 2013, and the Vietnamese program made its debut in early 2016.
I see.
Right?
Well, something I'm noticing is the growing number of non-Koreans or
Right.
foreign nationals in Busan in the last 10 years. And I'm sure this helped us reach out to the increasing number of Chinese and Vietnamese residents here in Busan.
You know, the radio station usually go through 2 different seasons every year, right? So when the new season begins, we sometimes have to let go of our favorite old programs, right?
Right.
And replace them with new ones. Despite that, the Chinese and Vietnam programs have never been replaced.
I really appreciate that because, you know, becoming a global hub doesn't just mean embracing English, right?
Right.
It means embracing all these different diverse languages.
Exactly.
Now, what are some other changes that you've seen throughout the years?
Let me see. And since we are the only multi-language radio station in Busan, we formed a partnership with many foreign broadcasting stations. Of them, well, Fukuoka Love FM comes to my mind.
I've noticed a reporter from Love FM connecting with our programs.
Right, like
Yeah.
Tamsang and Sachi-sang have been working with us together, right?
Yes.
And there is a segment where we deliver our Busan news to Fukuoka and where Fukuoka reporters send us their news, like you mentioned, right? Well, and I have been in charge of delivering the Busan news to Fukuoka as a Busan reporter since 2021.
Wow. So when you start something, you will like be tenacious. So 12 years doing that as well.
Right.
Now, does BeFM have any other partnerships?
Right. We also exchange many programs under the MOU. For example, we have formed a partnership with Seoul's TBS, Gwangju's GFN. They are English radio stations in Korea too.
I see. Well, I find myself tuning into our station in the afternoon hours or evenings when I'm taking care of my niece. So I like to have it on the
you have
background.
nieces.
Yeah. I'm curious, when do you listen to BeFM?
Personally, I mostly listen when I drive because my car is always tuned to 90.5, right? Speaking of which, 90.5 was the only station that, we used to have. However, the signal didn't reach some parts of the city.
That's right.
Like Noksan and Gijang, right? So the station expanded its FM coverages.
And that was to 103.3 FM, right?
That's right.
Now, here's a quick reminder. Listeners, you can listen to BeFM also via our BeFM app, where you can listen to us anytime, any place. If you don't have the BeFM app, you should install the app because literally, even if you're in Alaska or somewhere in the Caribbean, you can
That's
still
right.
tune in.
Thank you for reminding us, right?
And also in addition to that, you can search for
Right.
us on KakaoTalk.
That's right. So if you add 부산영어방송 on KakaoTalk, you can receive information regularly, right? So you can also win prizes by submitting answers to various quiz questions on different shows, right?
Yeah, I love that the listeners can stay involved with us in different ways, right?
And there's something that I want to say. We leave the door wide open by giving tours to our listeners at any time of the year. So those who visit can look around the facilities and have the chance to meet their favorite host of their favorite shows, right?
Yeah. So everyone, if you're in Busan, come visit us. Our doors are open.
Right. So come see us.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes the shows take place outside of the studio. So many programs have open studio events. Right?
Yeah. So that gives us an opportunity to interact with the listeners outside of the studio, right?
Well, actually, and the venues include department stores or like a cinemas, libraries, or the museums, et cetera, et cetera. You name it.
Well, what are some examples of events that took place outside of our studios?
Right. So we organize many outdoor events too. For example, BeFM hosted the Global Networking Party. Have you been, Haeyeon?
I haven't yet, but I'm looking forward to being at it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And we had BeFM Expat DJ contest. We had English speech contest. Well, they were hits, And as you probably remember, like many of these events had to stop during the pandemic, right?
That's right. And I'm sure that some of our listeners took comfort in our broadcast during those dark times.
Right.
Speaking of which, I heard that BeFM worked really hard to provide translation services
That's right.
for COVID news.
So, as you remember, everything was so chaotic in 2020, right? When the COVID-19 virus started spreading, So people had trouble finding masks, and non-Koreans, especially living in Busan, struggled to find reliable information in their own language, right? So when the city of Busan sent out alert messages, BeFM translated, every staff actually translated and broadcast the translations. So now I'm saying I want our listeners to know that every staff here in Busan EFM did our best to help, as the only English radio station here in the city. Right? Does that make sense?
Truly like a community coming together moment. Well, tell us more about BeFM's events and festivals. I'm curious, which one was your favorite? I know it's hard to pick one.
I know, because I have been here for so long, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just can't pick one, but I was a big fan of Halloween parade we had, Halloween festival. Speaking of which, that took place in the Gwangalli Beach area in the autumn of 2022. Well, there were so many people actually. It attracted more than 30,000 people. It ended with the drone show, So I would choose that. And I would also choose the networking party. And My Life, My English Festival comes to my mind too. Well, those events actually mean a lot to us because BeFM tried to work to build a bridge between Busan Busan citizens
Right?
and non-Koreans in Busan, right?
That's so beautiful. Listeners, we hope you enjoyed walking down memory lane with us, especially those who have been with you from a long time ago. Actually, Jenny Nim is saying hello to you, Kelly.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, and if you're a relatively new listener to BFM, we also welcome you too. We're looking forward to sharing more memories. So, Kelly, you said you worked at BFM for 13 years now.
Right.
Okay. I'm putting you on the spot. What's
Okay.
been your favorite moment here?
Oh, well, let me see. Well, okay, I would choose this. The team at BEFM made a documentary about a baby whose name was Unsu. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but the baby was unable to be registered as a citizen because the baby's mother left him, behind, and single fathers have difficulty registering their babies without mothers in Korea, So the documentary was recognized by the New York Festival Radio Awards and won bronze medal in human rights category. That kind of meant a lot to me too, because I was working as a translator too.
On that project.
And on that project, when I was translating, I sometimes cried like, oh, that's a sad story,
Oh, I love that. Well, as you said, BFM has produced numerous radio documentaries throughout the years.
Right.
So you can actually check them out on bfm.or.kr. And some of the more recent ones are on our YouTube channel as well. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for taking us down memory lane. It reminds me that without our listeners, BFM wouldn't be what it has become today, right?
Right.
So thank you everyone for tuning in every day. And any last words?
Any last word? Well, Busan City came up with a new policy to make Busan as a English-friendly city, right? So I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
And feeling grateful for the
we'll
past,
continue to make even more memories.
Exactly.
And I hope you can be back
Maybe next year.
Next year. And also maybe another 15 years later, you'll still be coming in.
Oh, no.
I hope. All right. Once again, thank you so much, Kelly. And now let's take a listen to some more congratulatory messages. Now, this time, they're from Consul Nolan Barkhouse of the U.S. Consulate in Busan, also the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in Busan, Mr. Jin Il-pyo, and we'll also hear from the President of the Vietnamese Residents Association, Paman Tuet. All right, let's have a listen.
Hello, my name is Nolan Barkhouse, and I serve as U.S. Consul in Busan. I want to congratulate BFM and all of you listeners on your 15th anniversary. Living and working in Busan has been such a pleasure for me and my family, especially because of people at BFM radio station and Busan city government who are working hard every day to make life more convenient for everyone in our global hub city. Throughout this year, my team and I are continuing to partner with everyone in Busan and the Yeongnam area of South Korea, and we're especially working to support increased trilateral cooperation between Korea, Japan, and the United States. We believe that working together with people and organizations who share democratic values is critical to enhancing our security and ensuring our happiness. Congratulations to BFM, and I hope to see you around town.
釜山英文广播的听众朋友们，大家好，我是中国驻釜山总领事陈立彪。在釜山英文广播成立15周年之际，仅代表中国驻釜山总领馆表示热烈祝贺。釜山英文广播是釜山地区知名广播频道，自成立伊始，作为釜山与世界沟通交流的平台，为包括领区中国侨胞在内的各国侨民获取信息，融入当地社会，增进国际交流合作发挥了积极作用。中韩是搬不走的近邻，也是分不开的合作伙伴。建交31年以来，中韩关系快速发展，给两国人民带来重要利益。中韩关系走稳走实，符合两国和两国人民共同利益，也有利于促进地区和平与发展。总领馆愿同领区各界人士一道，共同推动两国人员往来和各领域交流合作。希望釜山英文广播继续为增进两国相互了解、加深友好感情、 发挥积极作用。祝各位听众朋友龙年吉祥，身体安康。
Xin kính chào giám đốc cùng ban biên tập và quý thính giả của Đài Truyền thanh Tiếng Anh Busan. Tôi là Phạm Thị Ánh Tuyết, Chủ tịch Hội Người Việt tại Busan Kiềng Nam. Năm 2012, tôi được biết đến Đài Truyền thanh khi có một bạn trong ban biên tập Xin Chào Việt Nam đến gặp tôi phỏng vấn về thực trạng người lao động nước ngoài tại Busan và việc bảo vệ quyền lợi cho họ. Kể từ đó tới nay, Xin Chào Việt Nam đã có thêm nhiều chương trình hơn, lần phát sóng trong tuần cũng nhiều hơn. Việc đó thể hiện Đài Truyền thanh Tiếng Anh Busan đã có rất nhiều nỗ lực trong việc truyền tải các thông tin hữu ích đến cộng đồng người Việt Nam đang sinh sống tại Busan. Được biết năm nay, Đài Truyền thanh Tiếng Anh Busan tròn 15 năm tuổi. Thay mặt Hội Người Việt tại Busan Kiềng Nam, xin gửi lời chúc mừng chân thành tới đài và mong rằng thời gian tới, Đài Truyền thanh Tiếng Anh Busan sẽ nỗ lực hơn nữa trong việc phát sóng những chương trình hữu ích giúp người nước ngoài nói chung và người Việt Nam sinh sống tại Busan nói riêng thích nghi nhanh với cuộc sống và giúp họ vơi đi nỗi nhớ quê hương. Nhân dịp Tết cổ truyền Việt Nam, tôi xin kính chúc quý đài và quý thính giả một năm mới an khang thịnh vượng.
Welcome back. You just listened to even more congratulatory messages sent to us for BFM's 15th anniversary. Now, the first one was from Consul Nolan Barkhouse of the U.S. Consulate in Busan. Thank you so much for your kind, sweet, and supportive words. And the second message was from Mr. Jin Il-pyo, the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in Busan. He shared that Korea and China are inseparable neighbors, and the 31-year-long diplomatic relations have been quite beneficial to citizens of both countries. So he hopes that BFM will continue to play the active role in strengthening the bilateral ties between the two countries. And the last lovely message was from Ms. Paman Tuet, the president of the Vietnamese Residents Association. She shared that our program Hello Vietnam has been so supportive and helpful for Vietnamese residents in our city, and she's very grateful for that and wished us the very best. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. These words really mean so much to us as we continue to connect with everyone from people from all different walks of life. Now, back to you, our listeners. Oh, I love the messages coming in. Thank you so much. 박무성님 is saying, actually Frank Park님, 와우, 정말 세월이 빠르네요. 2009년 개국 당시부터 들어왔는데 벌써 15주년이라니 너무 뜻깊은 하루입니다. 부산 영어방송이 세계를 향하여 끝없이 뻗어나기를 진심으로 응원합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you so much, 박무성님. So it sounds like you've been with us since the very beginning. I love the loyal listeners who continue to tune in with us. Thank you so much. And please continue to stay with us. Next one is from 7410님. BFM이 벌써 15주년이나 되었군요. 늘 우리 지역 이슈와 많은 분들과의 인터뷰 잘 듣고 있습니다. And said that they're a supporter of our station. Thank you so much. And also 오진희님 is congratulating us. 부산에 영어방송이 있다는 게 자랑스럽네요. 앞으로는 아이들도 들을 수 있는 쉽고 재미있는 방송도 있었으면 좋겠습니다. Yes, we have some diverse programs already, but we'll continue. I think this is such a great feedback. We'll keep that in mind. And yes, thank you so much. You can keep them coming. And yes, so next we're going to take a listen to some voice messages from our very listeners. So let's take a listen to them right now.
Hey, BEFM, longtime listener Lee Kelly here. Just wanted to congratulate you on 15 years of radio excellence. You've always done a great job bringing people together and keeping us all informed about all the great events and new and upcoming places throughout the city, so keep up the great work. A big thank you to everyone in the BEFM family who make the station what it is, and for everyone else out there in Radio Land, remember, the only place to be is 103.3.
저는 부산 영어방송을 정말 사랑하는 청취자 안은지라고 합니다. 부산 영어방송이 개국 15주년을 맞이하였습니다. 정말 축하드립니다. BFM, our steadfast companion in news, music, and culture. Congratulations to the BFM team on this remarkable milestone. May the next 15 years bring a journey toward a more united, interconnected community. Happy 15th anniversary, and may the future shine brighter.
A beloved listener of BeFM, my name is Lee Seung-min, who attends Busan Foreign School. I was active in BeFM all the way from Sunday's Kids News to school reporters and so much more events. Congratulations, BeFM, on your 15th anniversary. For me, BeFM has been integrated in my childhood. Road trips, weekend mornings, whatever it is, BeFM has always been with me, and I hope for it to continue. I also hope that there are many more opportunities later in the future for children like me who want the opportunity of being able to study English. BeFM makes studying English such a pleasure for me, and I hope it can do the same for everyone else. 20th anniversary, 30th anniversary, I wish for BeFM to continue on and on for all the people in the world to listen and enjoy the radio with delight. Once again, congratulations, BeFM.
Welcome back. Those were beautiful messages from some of our listeners. 안은지님, 리켈리님, 그리고 이승민님. Some of those names I recognize, so it's so wonderful to put a voice to a name. And yeah, I felt I'm very moved by these messages. I feel a little verklempt. Thank you for really, being intimate with us. It's such an intimate medium, right? We get to connect through our voices and reading your messages. It's almost like having a daily companion, right? We appreciate you and thank you so much. We love you. And let's take a look at some of your messages, listeners. 5955님이 이렇게 보내주셨어요. 15주년 축하드립니다. 몇 년 전 우연히 라디오 채널을 돌리다가 2년이 된 부산영어방송은 지금 아침에 눈을 뜨면 제일 먼저 라디오를 켜는 나의 하루의 한 부분이 되었습니다. 벌써 15년 이렇게 힘든 시간을 함께 지내준 이 방송을 애정하는 건 늘 오래된 친구처럼 편하고 부담스럽지 않아서입니다. 이렇게 보내주셨는데요. Yeah, I agree. Really, I also personally have become a fan of some of our other BeFM programming, and it does really feel like a friend. Yeah, connecting every single day. Thank you for your message. And also, 여름님도 저희 축하 메시지를 보내주셨어요. 앞으로도 명실상부 최고의 한국 영어 방송으로서 양질의 프로그램을 제작해 주세요. 늘 응원합니다. 오늘도 인터뷰 잘 들었다고 말씀해 주시네요. Thank you so much, 여름님. Yeah, I hope that we can continue to bring in more exciting interviews so that we can learn together about these interesting people in our city. Well, everyone, the time is now 11:52, and it's almost time to close out BeFM's 15th anniversary show. Thank you all so much for sending in the messages. Our team will contact the winners of the prizes individually today, so keep your eyes out for that. 추첨을 통해서 선정되는 15분께는 저희 팀에서 개별적으로 연락을 드리고 커피 쿠폰을 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. Wow, 15 years, it feels like forever, but if you think about a 15-year-old human, they're a teenager, right? So they're very much forming their own inner life and developing a deeper point of view. Excuse me. And looking back on these years and celebrating our 15th anniversary, it reminds us of the amazing love and support from you, our listeners. So in order to pay back, all of us at Busan Worldwide and BeFM will do our best to provide you with programming that speaks to your brains, your hearts, and souls. Thank you so much once again. And yes, it's been a beautiful day celebrating, and I hope we can continue this celebratory vibe today. It almost feels like my own birthday too, even. Well, everyone, thank you so much once again. This program was produced by Kim Yoo-eun, written by Pang Mira, and I've been your host, Haeyeon Park. 여러분 좋은 하루 되시고요. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.
비가 내리는 오늘은 사랑하는 그대의 생일날 온종일 난 그대를 생각하면서 사줘. 난 가까운 책방에 들러서 예쁜 시집에 내 맘 담았죠. 그 다음엔 근처 꽃집으로 가서 빨간 장미 한 송이 샀죠. 내려오는 비를 맞으며 그대에게 가는 길 너무 상쾌. 꿈속에는 장미 한 송이 착한 건가 그대 위한 기쁜 내 사랑. 아름다운 그대를 만난 건 하느님께 감사드릴 우연. 작은 내 맘 안아주는 그대가 있기에 이 세상이 난 행복해. 난 가까운 책방에 들러서 예쁜 시집에 내 맘 담았죠. 그 다음엔 근처 꽃집으로 가서 빨간 장미 한 송이 샀죠. 내려오는 비를 맞으며 그대에게 가는 길 너무 상쾌. 꿈속에는 장미 한 송이 착한 건가 그대 위한 기쁜 내 사랑. 아름다운 그대를 만난 건 하느님께 감사드릴 우연. 작은 내 맘 안아주는 그대가 있기에 이 세상이 난 행복해.
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요? 과거와 현재